and now they're trying to crucify him. It's kind of stupid.
Coconut milk and Fruit Loops, weird combination.
They also
I've seen a few things about it.
To crucify Aaron Rodgers, the football player.
And there's that's still kind of the thing going on too. Because there's another one too.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Hey man, I'm not the only one.
There's
lost
two
my
football
job
players right now that are being crucified because of that.
It was also. You could also say it was also two. There was two others, but they've they didn't really get crucified. No one bothers them anymore. It was
not really anymore. It's just it's mostly just Aaron Rodgers. I was talking about that with my boss yesterday.
Kirk Cousins and what's his face. Can someone check the sound just real quick? Because I tried and I can't.
We'll pull up the touches.
I noticed.
There's a podcast being hosted at my work on Saturday.
Ooh.
It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. It's like 6 girls giving dating advice, 5 of which probably shouldn't be giving dating advice.
Okay, so far it sounds pretty good.
By all these wonderful women.
5 of them are divorced and 1 is married, and they're all almost 40. Yeah, like five divorced and single women giving dating advice.
Makes sense.
Beautiful.
And on that note,
there's going to be math magic in D&D in the next
math magic.
Math magic.
Yeah, numeromancy.
Ooh.
It's the villain's
number magic.
You have to actually do math because
where we finally know that
would be interesting.
We've been live for like 2 minutes. I am C4.
Welcome to the talk show.
Always.
Are you?
I am C4.
Actually, no.
I am
C4.
Before we start,
we are C4.
I would like to.
I'm not
shout
I'm C4. He's C4.
Hey.
We're all C4s.
I'm going to shout out our only patron. Hello,
Tell us, please, more.
The Villains Talk Show. We are the podcast that happens once a week on Wednesdays. We talk about the things and stuff, and
stutter and have issues.
God, I have these
largely because
they look so good.
Ruin everything, especially
you.
You ruin everything.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hello and welcome to the Villains Talk Show. We have why. Words
man, can you put like the nameplate in a better space for me, please? It's
right.
Literally right over my face.
You know what?
Yeah, mine's in the corner and it looks weird.
Yours is over your head. It's literally
it looks weird.
Well, mine's not over my face.
Blocking off the thing that's really important in my background.
We are.
It is, I guess. Podcast. I think that was important. I think that was
that right there is really important.
We try to talk about things and stuff. And normally this is where I ramble on about we go on every Wednesday and Sunday, but today I would like to give a shout out to our only patron for the wheel. He's out there. Thank you very much.
Our wonderful minion out there. You are a great minion.
I'm messing this up.
I'm helping you. I'm here for you. He's a great minion. He's a wonderful dude. For the wheel. Just joined his Patreon the other day. If you want to be a minion, you should support us directly. Join his Patreon. Check out the links. And we're also going to talk about our wonderful setup here. If you want to be a wonderful podcaster like us, we set up with Buzzsprout. It's a really great place. It's for free. And when you get started, you can, meet other people like us, and you can, shoot us a message. You want to join us at any time? As we always do, feel free to shoot us a message.
Yeah,
wow, that was so much more coherent than usual.
Yeah, it really was.
Just saying, did we get
everything was like right?
That's because I actually just got off work and I had to be coherent for like 6 hours before this. So.
Nah, that's debatable.
We are your hosts, Sara, Vike, Insanieac, Sir Jeremy, and the Great Grease Goblin, and I am C4.
Are we?
And here we do the Tavern
who are we?
I thought I was C4.
Sundays. And the talk show. And tonight is Wednesday, so it's talk show night. And,
talk show night. And Tavern Tale night.
Yeah. And Tavern Tale night, which will be after.
Yeah.
If you want to be on the Tavern Tale, you want to play, you want to join the Discord. Just shout out, talk in the chat. We're very friendly. We
And for those
No,
listening in
we're
Spotify
villains.
podcast
We're a
lands,
little
if you
insane,
wanna
but we're
watch the
friendly.
Tavern Tales, we don't put it on the podcast. Check out the YouTubes, the Villain Talk Show, where you will be seeing Tavern Tales pretty soon.
hopefully soon. Editing is hard.
It takes a bit of time, but when you see it, be sure to check them out.
That being said, all that aside, let us start with today. And today is Sarah picked the topic.
Yeah, I did. I'm angry
because it's
about
such a great thing.
And as you see in our new
and how
beautiful
happy she is about
UI,
it.
down here at the bottom, it says now the topic. I wish
No,
I
it
had
doesn't.
rainbow
It just says
You see
daylight
how
savings
passionate
sucks.
I am about it? Because I'm very passionate about it. I hate it with
It's
all
such
of my
a great
being.
thing, though.
I still wish you would adjust
No.
the names, please.
It's
But-
horrible.
By all means, Sarah, take it away, or else Insaniac's going to make me blow a gasket.
Please
Yeah, that
change the
seems
name,
likely.
please. Well, she talks.
This week we switched from daylight savings time to regular time, and I hate it with every part of my being. I now get up in the dark and I come home in the dark. It's great. Before this week, it was just starting, like the sun was just about risen by the time I got to work. Now it starts coming up just as I get up, but it goes down like as soon as I'm done work and I'm on my way home, and it sucks. I'm constantly exhausted. I was so tired today, literally just from changing time, that I had a nap in C4's room. It was... I can't handle it. I hate it. My internal clock is all wonky, and yeah, it sucks.
It's not fun.
No.
Resetting clocks is always the one thing I always forget. It really is like.
I don't even have any
I'm
clocks
happy my
that
phone
have to
does
be
it.
reset.
That's fair. I was gonna say I'm happy my phone does it for me, but my computer. But
not your car though.
Well, that's true.
Actually,
I
my
have to
car
change
does.
that.
My car's new and it does it automatically.
Mine does not, and it's a 2017.
Personally,
mine's 2021.
Love it.
Ew,
No,
gross.
you're wrong.
You're gross.
You're wrong.
I like getting an extra bit of sleep in and I also like the day. So it put when we fall forward
the day is still the
fall
day,
back
please.
and spring forward, it means I get to spend most of my day in the sun. Because if you don't fall back, then the sun sets in Canada around like when we don't, like it at the worst during December 21st, it sets at 4:30. If we didn't fall back, it would set at 3:30.
No, you've got that backwards. It would set at 5:30.
Yeah, you got it.
That's why I hate it so much. I would
That is
actually
why
love
it goes
to stay on
forward
daylight
during the
savings
winter.
time. Because
That's why it goes forward in the winter.
So we're
and back in the
getting
summer.
more sun during the winter.
The whole deal was for like farmers and animals and shit, and that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Daylight savings is actually like the worst thing.
God, why am I so bad at math? All right.
I love
And
how
then when
confident
lose-
you are for
when
it,
you
though. That's the
lose
best
that
part.
hour. That's so not good for you either. You're like,
Yeah.
I plan for my 6 hours or my 8 hours or whatever people sleep. Like, I know everybody's different.
Look at the
But,
math.
like, then you get the one
whoever's
less
editing
because
this.
the clocks
Someone
are
put the
stupid.
math symbols in John's head right now
yeah.
because he's looking into the sky.
Carry the two.
You shut
Multiply
up
Time
and
the
you
for
die.
exponential calculus
You
of
shut up
math.
and you die.
What does exponentials mean?
If I cube, I gotta cube that and then divide it by.
There's
and
no
then-
way. There's no way that's forward an hour. That doesn't make any sense.
I
I have to break down the equation.
I can see the point of daylight savings time if you live farther south than we do, or possibly if you work outside. But the thing is, like, in our current modern age, most people work inside, and so they're spending the only daylight hours inside. And
I feel like
that
you
just
stole that from a different
sucks.
show. Sarah
That just
is a
sucks.
woman of the modern age.
Whatever.
Please.
I mean, and then the argument that you get more sun is also false because it doesn't mean the sun's up anymore. You don't get more hours out of a day. Get your ass up earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
you want
to see the sun? Wake up a little earlier.
Right now,
It's
right
not. It's
now,
on your
the sun is
responsibility.
rising at what, like 7:30 and setting at 5-ish, and it's just going to get worse from here. Like we live too far north for it to make sense. We have too few hours of sunlight in our day for it to make sense.
You have too few hours of sunlight in the day.
Yeah, but so do
Oh,
you
wow.
because you live in the same
That is a
longitude
lie.
as I do.
Nope.
No, okay, cool.
Nope.
No, I'm further south than you.
So much further south.
So much.
The deepest of the south.
Yeah.
So
I-
south that you can't
Let
see.
me find out
the
how much
north.
farther south you are than me.
By that logic,
I'm also pretty sure I'm north of you.
by that
He's
logic,
he's so far
by
south that north
logic,
is south.
Jeremy's
You're north
in
of me?
Florida.
Yeah, he is. What's
I
your
think
point?
you're the farthest south, aren't you?
Jeremy would be.
I am so
By a
so
block.
far south.
By like a whole 2 blocks. Come on, don't sell yourself short.
Jeremy's still the south, though.
You're in Mexico.
I am technically still south.
I would have been the south.
No, I'd be Florida, and John's Texas.
Thank you.
Mexico.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds
I'll
about right.
take that that compliment. Thank you.
You would take it. You would.
Yeah,
Actually,
you would.
Yeah. John,
That is a
totally
compliment
farthest
to you.
south
Should
than
I
you.
go grab my cowboy hat?
Yes.
Because like Texas,
we know.
like,
We already know.
Let's see if I can remember what your address was, Grease Goblin.
I
Please
doubt
don't
you
say
can.
it on live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
don't.
do that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
just
just
gonna say
gonna
it out loud.
I can
stop
message you
right
it.
there.
You already
It's-
did, so I'll just look it up.
I know.
Well, yeah. So back to daylight savings time. You know, it's not.
I looked it up
possibly
already.
Doxing one of our hosts.
It's not a fun time. It's honestly like a lot of people. I think there was a poll or
There
like
it
a
is.
vote at some point where
Bullshit.
people
I
like
love
had
it.
talked about
This
it. Where
this
they're just
election,
like,
we had a vote.
Yeah.
well, we have votes all the time, but people who
No.
were against like daylight savings
Majority
time.
So
of
here's
people
the
were still
thing.
for it.
We actually just
really?
3 weeks ago had a referendum on this, and
really?
50.2% of people voted in favor of
Bullshit.
keeping daylight savings.
Yeah, 50.2. That's still a
Wow.
majority.
Wow.
By about 3,000 people, they were saying.
I'm sorry, 49.8
Bullshit.
said no. I'm sorry. Isn't
It-
that-
Bullshit.
I am so mad. I wish I could personally go and just
That's
punch each of those people in
hysterical.
the face.
well,
I am.
That's
Haha,
hysterical.
jokes on you. You don't know where I live.
You?
I mean, you want to come
I
punch
do
me in
know
the
where you live.
face? I voted. I know exactly what you're talking about because I voted too, and I saw that, and I voted for it because I love it.
You voted for keeping it?
Oh yeah,
Son of a bitch.
You said no on
course
the
you did.
referendum then.
yes, I said no to the referendum.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
I mean, I have such a beautiful face. Why would you do that to me?
Right? And
Mostly
you
Because
can
because it said no, and it's
I mean,
now
I
it's
can
a
get
stupid
you a
face.
punching bag with my face and my shit-eating grin.
See, this is where I see you would do the thing because
So you
just
could
because you
punch-
could say no, just to say that you did.
I also said no, though.
Ugh, you too.
Yeah, but we knew that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's a good thing.
It is
No.
a good thing.
it's
It
not.
is
I love
not.
It's very much
sleeping
not.
It is
in.
horrible.
It's very much
no,
not.
It's not. It's just
I
a little
also-
jet lag.
You
I
literally
also
don't get to
really-
sleep in because on the adverse side, you literally lose time. So you're not
So
making.
there's no
Starting
game.
from
There
the
is
spread.
literally no
That's
gain or
sleeping
loss
in
or
because you
prize.
That's for
lose an
future
hour
C4
later.
to care about.
That's not a future C4. That is a present thing that
Future
happens.
C4 can deal
Yeah.
with
That
No,
is a
that's
present.
future.
No, that's not.
Future
That's a
C4
present thing that
can have
happens.
no tire.
No, that's definitely a
Sure.
future thing to worry about.
Alright.
That's not. That's a
Because that
present thing
is
that
coming
happens.
next year.
No, it doesn't happen till it's present.
It's a next year thing as a future thing.
It's not.
Exactly.
No,
See,
actually, technically, you've already
and that's
dealt with
why
it.
our planet's decaying and we have other issues. When you put off problems to the late, and then suddenly things
Yeah.
are blowing up, and you're like, "Why did it get so bad? Ooh,
But it's a
how could
self-solving
it foresee
problem.
such a terrible outcome?"
But it's a self-solving problem.
No one.
It's a problem that
It's
solves
it's
itself,
really not.
just like
It
that.
really isn't. No.
It's really not a problem. It's a solution.
It's definitely
It's a
not.
solution to a
Lot.
problem. Of
So
not
here's the
being-
real question: do you guys like not ever seeing the sun?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just crazy. Cool.
That's what vitamin D tablets are
I
for.
see the sun all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, medical dependency is so much fun.
Whenever I look at a C4, I see the sun.
Aw, you're so great. That's probably what he pays
Just look at that smile.
The sun comes up, da-na-na-na.
I guess
What do
it
you
probably
mean by-
helps
what-
that I work like school hours, so I work specifically during that time, whereas you guys have a bit more of a varied
Where
schedule.
most people are kind of awake and open in the day.
Yeah.
I do agree. As a child, I remember going to school, and it sucked that you went to go to school during the morning.
That's exactly
And then
what she deals with
you
all the
leave,
time.
Exactly.
and it's almost sunset. But it's
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I do
That's my
see
life, right?
that.
Yeah.
It does suck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What a twist.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
As a
Fine.
child, yes. But then if you're
It's in that
a child
situation.
of night like me, if anything, that just means more time at night, and night was the best time.
Except you don't have more
Not an
time at
adult
night.
who's
You have more
literally
time in the
has a
dark.
career.
You don't have more time at night.
But I guess I've always been more of a
Say time is not more either
Right
way.
time at the right time.
I've always been more of a child of darkness.
I like the dark
I'm
too,
I'm
but I
male,
also
to be
have
honest, too.
seasonal affective disorder and don't deal well with the lack of sunlight.
You mean sad.
Yeah, I
I'm kinda
do,
night
yeah.
owl,
In
too,
chat.
You get sad in the winter.
First
I
of all,
do,
hello
like,
people
actually.
in chat. It's nice to see you there. What if you guys, what do you guys think? Daylight savings. I mean, if you want
It's
to,
awful.
if you want to just tell the truth and side with me, that helps my case.
No,
Tell the
do
truth
not
and
side with
me.
him. He is incorrect.
Yeah.
You should side
He's
with
always
me.
incorrect.
No, don't side with him
I'm
either.
sorry.
He's always incorrect.
50.2 percent of people agree with me.
50.2%
Yeah.
of people.
And
There's
52
literally there's literally no one in the chat right now saying a
however,
word, so you
small
shut your
percent
whore mouth.
actually voted.
I literally have my moderator view up right now, so you quiet down, sir. Spouting your filth. As usual.
You're just jealous of my filth.
Yeah, jealous
People
of
actually
being able
voted.
to pull out bullshit on the spot.
Oh,
It is important, though. You have to keep that in mind.
It's a talent, I won't lie, but I don't know if it's a good one.
I don't know, man. I've never minded daylight savings, mostly because it comes back to even when I work jobs where I work during the day, like when I did construction for a while, I understand. Yeah, you lose the sunlight, but I just never. It never bothered me, so I never affected. I just mostly liked the extra hour of sleep. And then in the spring and summer, I was always outside as much as I can, so getting up an hour earlier didn't really affect me. It just means I changed my sleep schedule. But then, I think I've talked about it before. I've never had problems sleeping.
You are very lucky.
I can sleep on planes. I can sleep on trains. It's never bothered me.
Yeah, I
Can you
can't.
sleep on a log with a frog in the bog?
This daylight savings time, it didn't really hit me very much because I didn't really have much of a sleep schedule going on. So for me, it's wasn't really a change. But at the same time, it's still not a good thing overall. I work with when I started this new job I'm working at, a number of people were talking about the same, how everything feels so much different because of daylight savings time and how it's so much later. And then literally Sara actually, when I came back, not a few hours later, started talking about it in the chat and talked about this topic. So it was very, very, it was very on point, and I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
But not the only one who hates it. People chefs that work in a kitchen
it.
don't like it either.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I hate it. I think for me, a big part
I'm
of
not
it
saying
too.
you specifically. You've made that ground, Grease Goblin, that you're okay with it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When I worked 5 a.m., and I did that for 7 years, I worked from 5 a.m. till 1 p.m. And I remember in the spring it sucked, don't get me wrong, but I remember I would look forward to every fall because when you work at 5 a.m. and you get that extra hour of sleep,
but that affects you for literally one day.
But that
It literally is one day.
That day,
that one day,
and that day is a Sunday.
And then you literally have one day the next year where you lose an hour of sleep. So you're not gaining or losing any difference. It's literally a trade-off.
I think for me, a big part of why I hate it too, and why it gets me so badly, is because I am a night person, and because I work a job that requires me to be awake in the mornings. It is a constant struggle for me to try to set a routine that I go to sleep at a reasonable time. And I love doing this with you guys, but it does not help with that because I'm up too late all the time. So when it suddenly switches like that, it just destroys the routine I have going on and I just don't sleep. And yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
A weird thought just crossed my brain.
Oh,
Okay. I'll give you my thought process on this. So February 29th, the only reason we have it is because the Gregorian calendar is imperfect. So every 4 years, to make sure the Gregorian calendar is correct, we correct it by adding an extra day. Because actually, in a
every
day,
100 years.
because something like that, and like there's only 23 hours and 59 minutes and 56 seconds actually in a day, and so over time it accumulates up. So to deal with the reminders, we have an extra day. Why couldn't we, like, I mean, it might be just, it would blow too many people's minds and no one would accept it, but couldn't we make a calendar that has daylight savings, but at the same time also incorporates those lost hours so that we essentially erase February 29th and, like, maybe in the fall, instead of gaining an hour of sleep, we gain 12.
An hour and a half.
We also
daylight savings every 4 years.
That's not a bad idea.
And then in spring it comes the same thing, because we'd spring back, so instead we only gain 11. And it's like we'd have these 2 days that we'd call daylight savings days that end up.
You're thinking of this as if we have a February 29th every year.
You're right. So
yes. Realistically, it'd be 3 hours.
So yeah, if we scaled it down, it would be 3 hours. So that would be cool, right?
But then you'd have to also scale it out between. You'd then have to scale it also between a certain amount of days. So it would not be daylight savings day anymore.
Well, yeah, that's obviously math more powerful.
You have to keep in mind, though, what about all those people who were born on February 29th?
Fuck them. Moving on. So back to this discussion. I knew
they already don't celebrate their birthday on the 29th.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you would mess with
I had this conversation the other day. The other day. What if every 4 years they get one big birthday? Like, normally if they have a birthday...
I actually had a friend that was
in the way of a birthday stamp.
Celebrated it on the 28th because his birthday still technically fell in the February.
Exactly. So in a birthday stamp, it doesn't
last day of February.
Yeah.
One at a time, please.
Because technically your day only exists once every 4 years anyway. So like, your parents, unless they're assholes, aren't gonna be like, we're only gonna celebrate it once every 4 years.
Yeah. So how much of a problem would it be if we had 2 days a year that were one would be 27 hours, and the other one would be 26, to account for the fall back? So you still gain 2 hours one day, and then 3 hours. So 2 hours in spring and 3 hours in fall, and like all of a sudden,
are you proposing that we gain these hours?
Well, it because the way it works, right, is you fall forward and spring back. So if you
you'd have to go forward both times in order to make up for the.
Yeah, because we're losing it. The 29th, but you're breaking that up into.
That's what I mean.
The time of day. Then you drift the time of day, so eventually noon is in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's true too, though.
And by eventually, I mean after a year.
Because you'll break. If
you're changing by 5 hours a year or 6 hours a year.
No, well, that's where I was saying you'd have to do it. So you'd have to spread that out. So it would only still be 1 hour a day, but you'd have to spread it out through a number of days.
Yeah, but that would still cause the same problem.
I remember watching something years.
It wouldn't have the drastic issue, whereas having 5 hours in one day is a big.
But if you're moving forward every time. Sure, it takes a little longer, but it still ends up long.
Your issue is still the sun and its rotation.
Yeah.
God damn,
you've got the fall, right? And you're moving forward 3 hours. That means you go from sunrise at 8:30 to 7:30, 6:30, 5:30. And now sunrise at 5:30 means the sun is setting at like 2:30. And that's
way more
just
math than I ever want to do.
And then in the spring, you're shifting it another 3 hours. So now the sun is rising at 2:30 a.m. and setting at 11:30 a.m.
I already don't want the system, so I'm not going to do the math for this.
We should definitely have this system. It makes it so much better.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly.
We ruin all of time.
I mean,
you're literally breaking the calendar.
You're ruining the concept of time, but then it just needs to be rebuilt by people again because they made it to begin with. So
no, we ruin the fabrics of time.
Technically, time already existed before humans.
Yes, but you didn't calculate it in a certain rotations by a day of the sun's movement. You can calculate time based on other things in the universe other than just the sun.
Jeremy was sending us earlier circadian rhythms.
Yes, you can.
Right?
Yeah.
So
nope, it doesn't exist.
Circadian rhythms exist in every single creature.
Isn't it?
So as long as there have been anything living, there have been circadian rhythms, and so time has been measured.
Regardless of time, yeah. That's been a subconscious. It's a conscious thing till it was calculated and made into math.
Or like your heartbeat is a measure of time.
Yeah.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
Do you
Except
just
for those with what's it called? There's like the heart murmur.
I was gonna say, unless you look at people at doctors, then it is a measurement of time.
Well, if you have a heart murmur, sometimes your heart will skip a beat.
Yeah,
that is true.
No, it's not a good.
Like fandangle it so it would work.
Not unless you want to mess.
Figure out the math and come to the table with like a solution.
Instead
of a theory.
The best solution is to keep the 29th and eliminate the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Come to the table with a solution.
No, that doesn't work then.
Keep February 29th and get rid of daylight savings.
I think it's better to keep daylight savings.
No, daylight savings is horrific.
I think it's a good idea to keep it.
I
not to them.
I
don't know.
Bitch. Up, right?
I'm not sure.
Still nothing? And everything.
Well, everyone in podcast land, we have figuring out technical difficulties on our
technical difficulties.
But daylight savings is bad. So, and we're the villains, so we're not always going to agree on everything. Because me and Sarah.
Because you guys are wrong.
You think we're wrong?
I mean, according to 50.2% of people, you're wrong.
We have 50. We have video. Just because people voted against it doesn't mean that their decision.
Well, the whole thing is to go with the majority, right?
That's not
as a
majority doesn't.
As a democracy, you go with the majority, correct?
That's not what I said.
So does that not make the 52% of people or 50.2% of people correct?
No, it doesn't.
Just because the most people say something is right doesn't actually make that a right action.
Yes,
but what if they say that right is right? Does that make them wrong?
Doesn't mean just because they're right some of the time doesn't mean they're not wrong. People make mistakes.
That never happens. Name one mistake.
That always happens to everyone all the time.
Name one mistake.
From who? You?
Anyone.
That the majority made?
I was going to say, I'm not sure if you just noticed, but we just came back from technical difficulties. So that seems like a mistake.
That's never a mistake.
All that was on live. So just to answer your question, even though I am defending daylight savings, I will defend that Plato did warn the world that democracy would be the worst because of the fact that sometimes the majority may not be the most intelligent. And they may end up electing to put someone in, to do something stupid or put someone in power who may or may not be.
See, that's where there needs to be a new version, perhaps that includes a better form of democracy.
Version. What are you, fascist?
No, I said a new version, sir. That implies something that's not previously made. So thank you.
The problem is with that is it's fine and dandy to say that, but as a guy who studied political science, you know how fucking hard it is to think of something that's perfect. There's a reason why
there's nothing perfect.
Marxism.
There's nothing perfect. It's government is an ever evolving thing. It's never going to become perfect. As a society, we evolve, and in steps, we will take time to become better. We're not going to do it correctly the first time. We're not going to do it the right time, the first correct time. We used to burn witches, dude. No. We used to shoot people all the time. We used to have wars over the dumbest things. We are. No. I'm not saying it's in humanity. It's in evolution. Our brains and our empathy are going to get better. So that's how society works.
Bullshit. Evolution
I know your mentality is on a degrading level. That's because of the way.
No, we had a perfect system before, and then
we ruined it with capitalism. We never have had a perfect system.
Marxism was a perfect system.
Marxism.
Never, ever.
I really like to choose the extreme option.
Talking about evolution, just evolution. Those exact words you used. Evolution is derived from necessity of the climate around them. Humans, because they are naturally evil and selfish creatures, even if you create,
that is incorrect.
I don't care what you falsely believe. Even if you create a new version of government, all it takes is one corrupt leader, one person who's corrupt, and they will get to the top, because that's how corruption works. Always rises higher and faster than someone doing it the easy way. That's why it's so easy to do it the hard way. And
that is how corruption
rots in the inside out. People are going to evolve, just like they have across the entire planet, to work with and in the system of corruption. The only places you don't, and in North America, what we did, because we wanted to say we're not corrupt, we legalized corruption and called it lobby groups. So it is 100% correct. You're the only person I know who doesn't understand this. The whole world is corrupt and people are evil.
It's not. Because people are not evil or good. There's no such thing as being a good person or an evil person.
You want my
do evil. You do evil things.
Yeah, that's
do
way
good things. There's literally no good or evil people.
Did you know
anyone ever